Jill, you did a fine job.
Well, here we are having beaten the game again on Once Again mode. You can see I beat it in over 3 hours, but under 5. So that's going to get me some benefits. Real survival mode. Item boxes aren't connected, no auto-aim, and it's automatically set to hard difficulty. Very, very hard. And we get a new costume, surprise, surprise, and it's really powerful. The Samurai Edge. The Samurai Edge is pretty great because it's an infinite ammo handgun that can shoot in a burst of 3. And look at that, you can see right there it says the stars, got the stars logo on it, and Kendo. I get a kick out of that. An automatic that fires .40 SW rounds.
Chris, you did a fine job.
Well, here I have now beaten the game on normal or hard with both Chris and Jill, so I get a little bit of achievements for, like, I haven't saved for this one, that's the ink is for squids, I get a kick out of that, but more importantly, invisible enemy mode. That'll be a blast. You can guess what that entails. And one dangerous zombie. We now have a basic perma Crimson Head forest spare who can't be killed. You also get that for beating the game with Chris and Jill once each, although on the GameCube it was twice each. One thing about invisible enemies that's super cool is that you could see here, they'll still show up in mirror reflections. I can't aim at them because they're invisible, that would break the mode, but there he is, you see them in the mirror? Can't see him, but he's right behind me. There it is. You don't even see the blood, but I knocked him down. That's what makes this mode so great. There he goes. That's so eerie. There's a little blood on the ground at least. Knocked him down a second time though. Here's an example of one dangerous zombie. Some zombies are simply replaced by forest. Like, here we go. And you can see all those grenades on him. I really shouldn't fight him. So if he grabs, it's probably best to just let it happen. I'm not sure what happens if you stab him in the head. I'm not sure if you get a free out by that, but I'd rather play it safe. Also, well, here, also, don't shoot him.
Jill, you did a fine job.
At long last, I've beaten the game in under 3 hours, so yeah, don't stop running. Achievement for that makes sense. And if you recall from the original Resident Evil, well, okay, closet key. I've unlocked every costume now. Passion for fashion. But otherwise, for under 3 hours, time to clean house. Rocket launcher. And Starsenal, nice. And as a matter of fact, it's not the endgame rocket launcher from the main story where you put it over your shoulder. This is actually one that aims and fires a little more easily. So let's go ahead and save that data, and we're going to see something pretty cool as a result of my having unlocked every costume in the game.
Resident Evil.
A new costume, yeah, I know. So let's take a look at what we have. Chris's normal costume, we have his Code Veronica costume, his casual wear, but still Stars branded, I guess, and then his BSAA costume from Resident Evil 5. And for Jill, normal, Sarah Connor, Resident Evil 3, and Resident Evil 5 again, BSAA. Pretty rad. Here's what happens if you take way too long to give the serum to Richard. No scene, no fanfare, he's just dead. You can investigate for a scene. That's it. Richard is already dead. If only you'd gotten that serum in time. The one upside to this is that I have a serum for myself when I have to fight Yawn. Now we're going to see what happens if I am poisoned after failing to save Richard. Good enough. Yawn can take his sweet time to leave, that's fine. Now I could have cured myself with the serum right there in the room, but I can also get this.
Poison. I need serum.
If I had saved Richard, then this is where I'd play as Rebecca to save Chris. But I failed to save Richard, so I need to get the serum for myself. Fortunately, I already have some. Done. That's all it takes. Well, I'm right about to fight Plant 42. Let's see what happens if Richard died in the earlier part of the game.
Rebecca! It's no use! Roots are in the basement! You can...
No!
Take that file! It'll tell you how to make the potion to kill this thing! Use it on its roots! Hurry!
Chris!
It's a nice touch that he threw down the white book that you had to remove from the bookshelf and replace with a red book. So, we have places to go. I've already taken the liberty of unlocking the door to the chemical room. You saw that in the main playthrough already. Now we're going to see what it takes. Now here's how you're supposed to figure out what's going on. Here's a yellow liquid, yellow 6. Here's a red liquid, number 3. And here's your clue. There's something written on the wall. 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 6 is 10, 1 plus 6 is 7, 10 plus 7 is 17, 17 plus 3 is 20. We need to make ourselves a V-jolt. So the first thing I'll do is grab some water, which has a value of 1. Then I will grab some UMB 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. Boom. Now I need 4 plus 6. I just created 4, so I'll make some 6 now. 4 plus 6 is 10. Hooray! Now I can go for some more 6, as a matter of fact. And some 1. Oh, it doesn't even ask me to fill because I've already filled everything. So 1 plus 6 is 7, and then 10 plus 7 is 17. Now all I need is 17 plus 3, and there's some 3 right here. I'm not even going to bother with that 4th bottle, I don't need it. And we have ourselves some V-Jolt. I like that touch, the little shaking of the bottle. A distinctively brown liquid. Oh no, I have to let the animation sit. Okay. Now, where do we put the V-Jolt? You may recall if you watched the Resident Evil 1 Let's Play, or if you've played it yourself, that it's in the room right next to where the sharks were. So we have to go back to where the sharks were. We can't just walk all the way down this hallway and enter the aqua ring because... Well, I can show you why, actually. Drain the water, so the boxes are way down there. Too bad for us. So we have to go in the way we came out. Fortunately for us, that one shark in front of Neptune and Neptune herself has already been defeated. So all we need to do is make our way to the part that's actually above where they are. We're not even going to encounter them anymore. The only unfortunate thing is this is a pretty roundabout path. It's a little bit tedious. Here's the room where we drained the water. So, we go up through here, back the way we came, again. And at this point, we are in the Aqua Ring. So we'll have our first look at it without water. Here it is. And there's the other shark, in case you were wondering where the second one went. We never had occasion to go back here. We would have just run around in circles, but there is in fact a door here. Don't worry, it's harmless. It's just really scary. My god. So, V-Jolt time. This ought to make Chris's life a little easier. And, unlike Resident Evil 1, this gives you the option to discard the bottles. It's very useful. Now, you'll recall that if you do not use V-Jolt with Jill, you have to fight Plant 42. If you do, Jill gets captured and Barry saves her with a flamethrower. We don't have Barry for Chris. Ow. This is what happens in a normal fight, especially with Jill, if you don't use the V-Gels. So now we gotta fight it for real. The good news is that I've unlocked the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher would one-shot this thing with or without V-Jolt, but now you've seen what happens when you play as Rebecca. So, I will wrap this up by grabbing the helmet key and seeing if there's a scene that follows this.
Chris, you're okay.
Yeah. I think we got to the root of that problem.
Uh,
I owe you, kid.
I'm glad I could help.
Rebecca. Thanks.
Chris, this is Richard's radio. A moment ago there was a transmission. Brad's still flying around, but I don't think he heard me.
Brad still thinky. This is weird
Okay,
subtitles.
I'll keep the radio. We have to somehow let Brad know about this.
I found a pharmaceutical room. I think I can come up with something useful. I'll be there if you need anything.
You need...
Anyway, I'm glad you were all right.
Well, this was a much more positive turn of events. And by the way, I'm very glad they kept that stupid root of the problem joke, because that was actually in the original game. Except they really push it. Chris says, "We got to the root of the problem," and it's just like, oh, jeez. Now, Rebecca was in a much better mood going in. I just want to see if anything changes when you talk to her in the pharmaceutical room.
This room is equipped with all...
Yeah, we've seen that, but...
No, I'm okay. But if something should happen to me, I'm counting on you.
Somebody sure knows how to get a deal. Most of the medical supplies here are from Umbrella.
Umbrella?
Don't you know? They're only the biggest taxpayers around here. They make most of these medicines right here. Homegrown in Raccoon City. Are you okay? Want me to treat your wounds?
Sure, I'll see if anything
Yeah,
happens.
would you?
That was certainly a new scene before.
Take care, Chris.
Yeah, it was an overall more positive set of scenes. I guess because we didn't have to tell Rebecca that Richard just died, because normally he dies by Neptune if you save him from the snake bite. So, effectively the game balances itself out. Would you rather have a sweet assault shotgun, or would you rather have an easier Plant 42 fight? It's cool to see. Let's take a look at the Stone Tiger room. I had mentioned this in a Let's Play, but of course this is, well, blue and yellow Gemstone Tiger. You'll recall that the blue one gives you ammo, and the yellow one gives you an ammo disc. But what if we foolishly put the redstone in? I've actually never done this before. Oh my god. Wow. 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 Okay. And there's no way of getting it back. But, of course, in order to beat the game... Wait. Well, you don't need the yellow ammo disc to beat the game, do you? No, but you do need the red gemstone to beat the game. So you probably have it reset if you come back in. Yeah, and it's on the floor. Wow, that's pretty cool. There's a first time for everything, huh?
Rebecca, is she upstairs?
Well, isn't this familiar? This time I'm going to show you what happens if we screw up. There are a couple of ways to do it, too. First things first, let's get back to where we're supposed to go. Here she is. Now, this is what we did in the standard Let's Play. We got here really quickly, and we saw the hunter approaching, and it was, oh no, scary. I'm bored, I'm gonna leave. Damn. That did not sound good. First of all, let's clean up the hunter that's still in here. Oof. Leaving and having her die, and then coming back in, appears to be the same thing that happens if you just wait for 5 full minutes. As in, you were way too late.
No.
You're at a loss for words. And with Rebecca dead, you cannot activate the self-destruct mechanism, and so you will guarantee yourself one of the bad endings. And now we see what happens if we wait between 3 and 5 minutes. Jeez. Brutal.
Rebecca!
My god, that thing's scary. Still has blood dripping from its claw, my god. And then we're probably going to receive the same scene. Oh, the blood's still pooling.
No.
Same thing. Yeah, same thing. I will say this. You'll notice that he slashed her throat, and that's the same way I died to the Hunter's insta-kill during the regular Let's Play. That, it's debatable as to whether it's censorship or not, because it's still a pretty nasty scene, but in the original Resident Evil, Hunters would straight up take your head off. And yes, they decapitate Rebecca as well, if you catch her at the right time during this moment. So, there you have it. Awful ways to let this play out. Here, I'm going to go ahead and see what happens if I let Wesker take a hit or two. I've never done this before. Ugh. Really? I've never... Okay. I've never seen that happen, so we'll see what comes of this, I guess. Well, it's time to get ourselves another ending. You know, Wesker did fall into the abyss. I'm wondering if anything changes here.
Wesker.
So you've come. Chris,
No.
You make me proud.
It's the same
Of
thing.
course you are one of my men.
There. You know, I'm actually curious. Can I just leave the room without checking to see if Rebecca's okay? Will I get a scene, or will I get like a message saying I better go back?
Chris!
Rebecca, you're alive!
Yeah.
There's nothing left for us to do here. Let's get moving.
Wow, okay. I don't think I've ever seen that before. By the way, no mention of the bulletproof vest. It was weird enough when Chris was the one who brought it up in the regular Let's Play, but that would have been a perfect time for Rebecca to say that she had one. She just shows up after getting shot, no problem. That is a little confusing. And now for the Tyrant fight, I'm going to do something very unorthodox. Ow. I love that move, though. Whoa, okay, what are you doing? You're still looking at Rebecca, right? God, that's creepy. Damn. Damn. I'm gonna finish him off now. Ugh. Well, isn't that a twist? Better. You should have seen my face when I first saw that. Like, what? The end-game weapon doesn't work? Oh my god. So now we're gonna have a slightly somber ending because we saved Jill, but Rebecca died. Man, do I love that. Looks cool every time. Good ending, could be better. There you go. We got out, but at what...
Chris, you did a fine job.
but at what unfortunate cost. That is the second best ending in the game. Everything has gone exactly the same as before, but this time we are not going to save Jill. We're just gonna book it out of here.
Deactivated. 3 minutes to detonation.
The self-destruct system's activated.
Good work. Brad's up in the helicopter. Shit, it's those nasties again.
Chris, if Brad's still up there, please try to get in contact with him.
But,
Leave them up to me.
all right. Clean him up.
No problem.
I really like that there's an additional scene for that. It's not just what Rebecca would have said just without Jill there. They really put a lot of effort into this.
Chris!
You okay?
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's save the day. Let's save the day for real this time. I didn't say anything before, but I love the little shockwave that appears behind the rockets as they fire. Or as they travel, actually.
Tired?
Chris, I'm sorry for...
Rebecca, you did just fine. This case was just too strange. It was just too...
To what? We may never know. And now we're starting to get into the somber, good endings. That's the third
Chris,
one.
You did a fine job.
And at this point, there's only one more good ending to get. And now we are going to do the worst thing. I have not saved Jill, and I'm going to let Rebecca get killed. God damn, there is no mercy. And that is the worst possible good ending. Nobody made it out alive but you, but at least you blew up the mansion. Those Rebecca death endings are actually additional endings in the remake. The original Resident Evil had 4 endings. 2 good,
Chris, you did a fine job.
where you blow up the mansion and that's it, and 2 bad, where you don't, and you either save your partner or you don't, in either of those cases. This time, we have 2 where you save your partner and 2 you don't, although the secondary character could be dead by the end of the game. There are 2 really bad endings, however, where you don't blow up the mansion. Let's take a look at those next. Now it is time to go for an ending without Rebecca catching up to us. Elevator's working, we just go in on our own.
Wesker.
So you've come. Chris, you make me proud. But of course you are one of my men.
Thanks.
Damn, Wesker.
Since when, Wesker?
I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
Since when have they been slipping you a paycheck?
I think you're a bit confused. I've always been with Umbrella. And stars were Umbrella's... no, rather, my little piggies. The Tyrant virus leaked, polluting this whole place, and unfortunately, I had to give up my lovely members of stars.
You killed Enrico with your own dirty hands! You son of a bitch!
Enrico? Yes. I'm a fair man. I'll destroy all of you stars along with this entire place.
You.
Time for show and tell. Get up.
Well, here we have the Tyrant movie we've seen before.
The ultimate life form. Tyrant.
Wesker, you've become senile.
Chris, you'll never understand. It's magnificent.
Come on, you test tube freak.
That's the part where we fight Tyrant, but we know how that goes. So at this point, all I need to do is release the lock. Now I can leave. But before I do, I want to pick up a little certain something that's lying by Wesker. The laboratory key. This is something I do not believe we needed in the original playthrough. Now we are not going to get the privilege of the Spencer Mansion blowing up, so instead I just kind of have to leave. However, we will go ahead and save Jill. No warning lights, nothing. It's a little disappointingly quiet, you know? Go ahead and have our little reunion and then see ourselves out. That's right, I used the lab key to open the door, because we don't have the self-destruct opening the door for us.
Jill?
Chris!
You're okay.
Chris, it's Wesker.
I know. But first, let's get out of here.
You know, I wonder if that scene changed because I didn't talk to her through the door before dealing with Wesker. That's actually pretty interesting. Here's Jill. No talking. Get rid of the lab key. Step out. That's about it.
This is Brad. Running out of fuel. This is your last chance. If there's anyone alive, give me a sign. I repeat, this is your last chance.
I'll take care of them.
What?
Chris, you just get in contact with Brad somehow.
Okay.
And now we do the last thing in the game.
You okay?
Nothing. This we've seen before. Ooh, what a twist. And you hear that heartbeat, Tyrant's not dead yet. That's how they get you. So there was the second worst ending in the game. Hooray.
Chris, you did a fine job.
Now we are going to get the worst of the worst. We're not bothering to save Jill, and Rebecca's dead, so we're gonna make that lonely walk. Or I should say, take that lonely walk. Here we go. And we've seen this before. The most unfortunate of what would have been the, quote, good ending if at least the Spencer Mansion blew up. And one more time, we failed the mission. Hard. The one thing we got was our own life. That sucks.
Chris, you did a fine job.
Hardly. Well, here we are. I'm about to beat Invisible Enemy Mode, which I beat on very easy because, come on. Wasn't exactly easy fighting invisible enemies, but we did it. So, for our reward, we get our achievement, a ghost of a chance.
Fine job.
But in addition, well, the closet key, sure, but in addition, we get a cool screenshot from July 24th, 1998. Congratulations! But then there's something that I didn't expect. Thank you for playing. Message from our director, unused costume change designs, save and return the title. So, message from our director. I forgot if this was in the original. I completely forgot, like, what this was. It's been forever. Maybe this was there. Thank you for taking the time to play all the way through Biohazard Resident Evil. If you're reading this letter, I salute you. You are truly a remarkable player. I imagine you must have had some pretty memorable experiences along the way. And there's the emblem key. The pain of seeing the game over screen time after time, the sweet taste of victory after you finally beat the game, the feelings of camaraderie you shared with your character, the excitement, and the overwhelming sense of dread. We believe that games are more than just the product of a team of developers. It takes the support of dedicated players like you to make a game worthwhile. For this reason, we are truly delighted when someone enjoys one of our games as thoroughly as you have. Therefore, on behalf of the entire staff, please allow me to express our gratitude and congratulate you on a job well done. Thank you very much for playing. Shinji Mikami, Dev Team Representative. That's freaking cool, man. And unused costume change designs? Oh, wow. Various outfits for Chris Redfield. And none of them look like anything that he's had in previous iterations. Too bad. Yeah, none of these looks familiar. Shooting competition 5th champion. Oh, wow, and still more? 2 karate. That's what that meant? Yeah, too bad. 2 karate. And then Jill, well, the left one is an unlockable costume. The right one, like Splinter Cell Jill? I like that it said, by the way, Jill, 01. Jill? 02. 03 and 04? Yeah, those look completely new. 5 and 6. Interesting that Jill's is drawn and Chris was kind of more rendered and realized. Various Rebecca outfits. Oh, yo! The one on the far right, I think, was her Nintendo 64 outfit. That, like, the Nintendo 64 version that never got fully made. I guess I would have brought that back. The cowgirl outfit she does have, although it's not any of these particular colors. Again, the left one is kind of reminiscent of N64, maybe just the colors. The right one, though, is what she actually got. Oh, that's it. Well, there you go. So all that's left is to save and return to title. Will do. Hooray! And there we go. So that's our sweet unlockable message for beating a pretty difficult mode. Thank goodness that it allows you to play in any difficulty you want, because real survivor mode sure doesn't. Well, here we go. I just beat real survival mode. With a reasonable time as well. The survival horror. Platinum Splatinum. That's a freaking brilliant trophy name. I love it. You don't appear to get anything for beating Real Survivor, unfortunately. Just props, I guess. Yeah, that's it. No fanfare, nothing. Invisible enemy mode got you a bunch, but Real Survivor? Nope. Oh well, I could just be proud that I've done it, I suppose. Well, we have done it. We have beaten Resident Evil's Remake on the PS4. This is a fascinating game. It's one of those things where I really thought that it would be a graphical update to the original Resident Evil on PS1, and in many respects it is, but there are so many differences between this game and the original that they're effectively different games. And there are multiple instances where there are clearly cases where the game is saying, oh, you played this back in 1996? You think you know the game already? Think again. You have the dog hallway, you have the red gemstone and the tiger statue, things like that. Actually, probably my favorite example of tricking the player is something that I unfortunately did not encounter in my regular playthrough, although I showed a clip of it later. The final Tyrant fight. I didn't say anything during the Let's Play itself until I mentioned it later in one of my ending clips, but I was surprised that the Tyrant went down in one rocket because I remember it happening differently. It turns out this was my mistake from the very beginning of the Let's Play. I was given 3 difficulty options to choose from, and that surprised me, because on the GameCube I was offered 2, easy and normal. And I read the difficulty options and I thought, mountain climbing? That's hard. Let's go down to normal. And I figured that the game had given me hard mode already unlocked, because in the GameCube version you have to beat the game, I think, on normal to unlock hard. Wrong. I was not given easy, normal, and hard to choose from. I was given a brand new difficulty, very easy, easy, and normal. So I was playing the game on easy mode the whole time. How embarrassing. When I showed one of my ending clips, including the final fight, all of a sudden the Tyrant took 2 shots to take down. Well, that would explain that. I was playing that one on normal or hard. Awkward. Sorry about that. That also explains why I never saw any of the naked zombies in the lab, because, yeah, they are in Remake. And I was thinking during the playthrough, I could have sworn I remember this game a little bit differently. And it turns out I was right, but I was not encountering those zombies for the wrong reasons. But it's pretty cool that the game does offer a very easy mode. It makes knife-only runs way easier. Why would I care about that? Normally I wouldn't, but there's an achievement for that. So playing it on very easy mode is a pleasant handicap that they afford the player, because the Crimson Head Elder on knife-only mode, he is rough. Even on very easy. He's one of the hardest bosses in the game to fight with only the knife. Him and Plant 42, I think. But other than that, this game is really brilliant, and it was a lot of fun to watch it and play it again a decade later from when I originally played it. Like I said before, this was the first Resident Evil game, the first survival horror game I ever owned. So this was a big blast of nostalgia for me, and it was a ton of fun. Thank you very much for watching this playthrough. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it. And special thanks go to DJ Gamer and Peter for their amazing title cards. So as for what we're going to do next, well, the next game I'm going to play is something I'm pretty excited to do, but is admittedly very long overdue. But I think people are going to be very happy with this selection. Until next time, everyone.